So then, right before he goes back to Apple, Steve gives an interview that's all about Pixar. And so, of course, I had to pull out a couple of things because I love Steve. Always is always quoting and talking about what he learned from Walt Disney, which I think is amazing. And so, this is a very interesting idea that you need to be editing before you can actually. People think of editing as something that happens after the fact. And Steve's whole point is like, yeah, but you can also edit before you make it. Walt Disney realized many decades ago that animation was so expensive that you couldn't afford to animate 10 times more than what you need. Matter of fact, you don't want to animate even 10% more than what you need. And therefore, the only conclusion you can come to is that you have to edit your film before you make it. Working with Disney gave us access to that wisdom that you can't buy for love or money. The art of storytelling is very old, and no amount of technology can turn a bad story into a good story. I don't think it has changed a long time, and I'm not sure that it will. He's talking about storytelling. Meanwhile, you can hardly find an Apple II around too much anymore, and it's not clear whether you'll be able to boot up a Macintosh 5 years from now. Sooner or later, they all become part of the sedimentary layer that is the foundation for new innovation. By contrast, Disney released its first animated feature film, Snow White, in 1937. That's 60 years ago. A few years ago, they released it on video and sold 28 million copies, making probably around $250 million of profits 60 years after its initial release. And then they include Steve's interview in this book called In the Company of Giants that came out, I